So we all know the secret's out, and using the ground is a big part of hitting bombs. And luckily for us at Measured Golf, we have an in-house bomb hitting expert, Aram from Smash Factor Performance, to help us take a simple exercise and help you hit the ball way farther. So everybody wants to talk about how we use the ground, how we don't use the ground. But what we've measured using our Swing Catalyst dual motion plates is that people definitely are using the ground, and not just using the ground, but using the ground in a particular sequence. And a lot of that sequencing has to do with how the body is actually arranged and composed and how we move those segments against one another. And this is a great exercise that my man here really believes in, loves the deadlift, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how this can actually help us play better golf.
Cool, yeah, so a lot of times the deadlift is characterized as a pulling motion because we think about pulling the weight off the floor as hard as we possibly can. I want to think about it in the opposite sense. One of my favorite cues is to push your feet through the floor. So if we think about getting down on the bar and pushing away from the ground, we're going to get a better result on our deadlift than we are if we try to pull the weight from the top down.
And that really applies to a lot of people's golf swings, because what we tend to see is that most of us start golfing by getting handed a golf club. There's a golf ball on the ground, now hit the ball out there. And we learn how to swing the club. But when our task is to swing the club, to swing it, I got to create space. And what a lot of people tend to do is they tend to take their arms and they want to pull the club away from the ground instead of pushing the ground away and using their body to start the motion. I think we see a lot of that together.
100%, yeah. And if you think about lifting something heavy, if you try to pick it up like this, it's going to be a lot less effective than if we kind of think about getting under it and coming from here.
So what are some reasons that people really struggle doing deadlifts? What are the reasons people really struggle using the ground when it comes to the golf swing? And in my opinion, and what we tend to see on the force plates, is that when we look at the pressure instead of the force, we find that a lot of people are trying to kind of push through the back side of their feet first. They're not really using the front side of their foot at all, and they're just pushing through the back side of their feet. And it's kind of funny because I've actually brought people down here before who are new golfers and haven't ever really felt that pushing the ground away before, and I get them in here into this hex bar, and I go, okay, and not this much weight obviously, but we start lower weight, and we just get them into this hex bar, and I go, okay, move the weight. And then they kind of go, well, it won't move, what do I do? And they kind of look around and they try to pull, and you can see their neck really trying to shrug. But like Coach Aram says, they're literally trying to pull this away from the ground instead of push with the legs. And now we can see that I can easily move this weight. So what am I doing well here versus a golfer that really struggles using the ground, Aram?
So what he's doing a really good job of doing is thinking about pushing down instead of pulling up. He's doing a good job of maintaining his foot contact so he's not losing his toes when he stands up. He's pushing through the balls of his feet and his heels at the same time and maintaining balance.
And what really helps here is having control of the plane that I'm moving the weight. So if I was to pick this up and move it to the side and then put it back down, we can see that as I lift it, the weights move vertical. So I'm actually moving away from the ground. And where a lot of golfers, I think, get in trouble with this is when they try to move or pull the club away from the ground, they tend to sit down and back, and that causes them to lose the connection to the front of the foot, and now all their weight's on the heel. So for those golfers who really struggle with the top of their swing, with getting that pressure too far underneath the trail heel because they're taking this right hip and trying to open it to create space to make a backswing, they may or may not have an awareness of the fact that when the right hip is moving away from the ball, their chest is only moving towards the ball. So that golfer tends to really have a tough time when it comes to making a powerful golf swing. So what we can do is we can take a note from Aram, we can get to the gym, we can find one of these hex bars or even a standard bar and do some deadlifting, because that's really going to do wonders for teaching somebody how to move the ground away from them. And that's the big cue we want to focus on. When we get to the top of our swing, we want to feel like we're pushing the ground away from the club, not trying to pull the club away from the ground. So we hope that you find this helpful. If you have any questions about how to use a hex bar or where to find one, hit us up in the comment section and make sure to subscribe so you never miss any of our future videos. So we hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep grinding.